Hello students, next we are going to start with the node analysis. As you all might already know that for mesh analysis we had used KVL or Kirchhoff's voltage law. For the node analysis we will be using KCL. Now how do you realize which circuit is to be used for calculating using nodal analysis or which circuit should be done for mesh analysis? One of the hints is that we use nodal analysis for those circuits which mostly have current source as it is shown here. So as you can see that there is a current, there are two current sources here, there is no voltage source. So one of the methods to realize whether the circuit is solvable using nodal analysis or mesh analysis is by looking at the sources. For voltage sources mostly it is mesh analysis, for current sources it is mostly the nodal analysis. It does not mean that the other cannot be used. That means if there is a circuit which has only voltage source, it does not mean that we cannot solve using nodal analysis. We can use, but if given a choice, generally we would go for only mesh analysis. Similarly, for nodal analysis, the current sources, circuit having the current sources are mostly done using node analysis, but it does not mean that we cannot use mesh analysis here. We can use mesh analysis. Okay, in KCL, as you all know, it is Kirchhoff's current law, so mostly it is based on the nodes and the current that is coming into or going out of the node. So as you can see in this particular circuit, here we are having many branches and all of these branches are connected by several nodes. Now there is a node here, there is another node here, but here in this particular problem we have only marked two nodes, 1 and 2. Why? Because generally we will mark only those nodes which are having 3 or more branches. It does not mean that we cannot find out, but generally we would go for only 3 or more branches. Another point, see here we are having one node, here second node, here third node, fourth node, but all of these are same. All of these are same. Why? Because there is no element in between these nodes. If there would have been element between these nodes, then we could have taken the two nodes as separate nodes. But here, since all of them are connected, all of them are connected without any element in between them, we can very clearly see that there is only one node that represents for this one. So that one node, for our case, let us say that we will mark it as a reference. Now, what do you mean by reference node? Generally, a reference node is a node which is considered to have zero voltage. It does not mean that we cannot take any other nodes as a reference node. Even this node can be taken as a reference node, or even this node can be considered as a reference node. We can take any of the node and consider it as a reference node. That means it is grounded. So if I am drawing like this, it means that this particular node is grounded, so it is having 0 volt. That node voltage is 0 volt because grounded node means it's a 0 volt. But we will not do that in this particular problem because we are asked to find out the voltages in these two. So we will take the third node and we will ground it. So originally there are how many nodes here? Originally there are 3 nodes here. Okay, first node is this one, second node is this one, and the third node is all of this combined. All of this combined we can represent as a single node, and that node can be drawn anywhere. Generally, people may even draw it like this with this as the node, or we also take this or the other node and ground this. So it means that it is a ground node or a zero node. So it is very important that one node is made as a reference node. It is very important that we make one of the nodes as the reference node and assign it as a 0 volt. All the other nodes will give some voltage. For example, here we can give the first node as V1 voltage, the second node as V2 voltage. Okay, just like in mesh analysis, we had drawn the currents I1, I2 and I3. Here we can draw the node voltages as V1 and V2. That is the difference when we do node analysis. Next is the assumption of direction of branch current. See here, right now no branch current is drawn. The good thing about nodal analysis is we can assume the current in whichever direction. Now there are textbooks which ask you to assume in a certain way that ask all the current to either entering or all the current as leaving. My suggestion would be, don't go for any particular rule, just follow this single rule that whenever you are given a circuit, draw the branch currents arbitrarily. For example, this is a branch. Why I call this as a branch? Because if I draw this as the node, then this is one branch, this is the second branch, this is the third branch, this is the fourth branch. So totally we are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we are having 5 branches. Okay, and we need to draw the branch currents for all of this branch. Now for example, here it is already 1 ampere current, so I will draw the branch current in this direction. Here I can draw it either up or down. Let me choose this at down. Similarly here I can draw it in any direction. Here again I am choosing it to be down. It does not matter if I choose it down or up. It does not matter. Now here the last branch, the current is already drawn, so I will take this direction as this one. So what is important is to assume the direction, and we assume the direction to be arbitrarily. Arbitrarily means in any which direction that you want, you can take the direction of current. The only thing is the direction of the current source that is drawn, that should be as such maintained. So here the current source is given, so the direction of current source should be maintained. Okay, so if we are having a question which is asking us to find the nodal voltages, then it is for sure that we have to use the KCL, that is the node analysis. So here in this particular question we will use the node analysis to solve. So now let me solve it using the nodal analysis. So the first step that we do is we mark the nodes. So here it's already marked. This is the first node. So I will mark this as node with having a voltage V1. Similarly, this node I will mark with a voltage V2. The third node I can draw anywhere. Let me draw it here. And it is grounded. So it means this is 0 volt. Now the second step is, the first step is mark nodes. Mark the nodes. So which all nodes? All the nodes and the reference node. Okay. The second step that we do is we mark the current. We mark the current. So here it's already current sources in this direction, so I will mark this current as this much. The third is this branch, I can make the current go up or even I can make it go down. It's better I make it go down. The third branch, let me assume this direction. Fourth branch, again I can draw it up or down. I will draw it as going down. Here there is already a current source, so I have drawn this particular direction. Next, the third step is write the current equation. So how do you write the current equation? See, it is very important for you to understand how to write it, because this is where most of the people make the mistake. So suppose there is a node which I have marked as V1, or let's say VA, and there is another node that I have marked as VB, and there is some element in between. Let us say that there is a resistance R, and the two nodes across it is VA and VB. For example, in this particular circuit, this element has two nodes V1 and V2. Similarly, this element has two nodes, one is this V1 and another is 0 volt. Similarly, this 1 ohm resistance also has a node V1 and a node 0 volt. Now, why I am taking the node 0 volt here? It's very important to consider. See, all these are 0 node. All these are 0 node. So when I say that 1 ohm is between this and this, what I mean is that it is between V1 and a voltage here which is actually 0 volt. Okay. Similarly, this particular element is having two node voltages across it. One is V1 and another is 0 volt. Same is the case here, but here it is a current source, so no matter. And even if I am going to take 2 ohm, then the two voltages that are across it are V1 and V2. So for any case, we will have two voltages, node voltages, and in between we will be having a current, a resistance. Now let us say that we have assumed the direction of current to be in this direction. Okay, if we have assumed the direction of current to be in this direction, then it means that we are considering that this is positive and this is negative. We are assuming that this is positive and this is negative. It means we are saying that VB is more than VA. That is the meaning of positive here and negative here. That positive means that this voltage VB is more than VA. And how did we come to that conclusion? By looking at the direction of current. So the direction of current decides which is higher potential and which is lower potential. So now if I want to write what is the equation of current I, the current I is basically higher potential minus lower potential divided by the resistance in between. That means we will have current I as higher potential is here right now, since it is plus polarity, that is positive polarity, that means VB is the higher potential, so this is going to be VB, and the lower potential is the one which is having minus, so this minus VA divided by R. Now what I want you to remember here very clearly is this equation will be only for this particular element. If we are going to take another branch besides it, it will not have VA as lower potential, or it may have, we can't say. For example, there is another branch here, then if the current direction is like this, then VA is more than this potential VC. Why? Because I have drawn the current to be in this direction. So in that case, VA will be a higher potential than VB. So you have to be always careful that whenever you are going to consider only one branch element at a time. Don't consider other branch elements. So this is positive or negative decided based on what is the current direction. Okay. So this is how we write the equation of current. The fourth step is, so you will be asking now where we are going to write this. We are not going to write it anywhere. We are just going to say that write the current equation. The last step is, not last step, the second last step is write KCL. So KCL equation. So that is the next step that we have to do. We have to write the KCL equation. So how do we write the KCL equation? So we write it for each node. So I will write KCL at node 1. So remember, previously we had given for mesh analysis KVL at mesh 1, but here it is KCL at node 1. So now I will be having to write for this particular node. So this is the incoming current, this is the outgoing current, this is the outgoing current. So the current directions are already decided. So based on the current direction, I can write for this one, since it is incoming, it is positive. See, it is incoming to node V1, so it is positive. Similarly, this current is going to be out of the node, it's coming out of the node, so this one I will write it as negative current. Similarly, this one also, since it is going out, I will write this as negative current. Okay, so the positive or negative, that is based on the direction of current. Going out of the node, we will take it as negative. Coming inside the node, we will take it as positive. Okay, now here, even though there is an element, here the current is already given 1 amp source, so we will assume that this branch is already having a incoming 1 amp current. So based on that, I will straight away write plus 1 for this branch. Okay, now for the second branch, I will use this particular law that we have just now written here. This is outgoing, so I will write it as minus of, now it is important, the node voltage, which is higher and which is lower. As you can see, the current is moving from here to here, so this is positive and negative. So V1 is higher potential, V1 lower potential is the reference potential, which we already know as 0 volt, divided by the resistance, which is 2 ohms. So that is the current that is passing through this 2 ohm resistance. Next is this branch. Here again, this is outgoing current, so it is negative, and then we are going to have the current direction based on the correction direction. This is going to be positive and this is going to be negative, so here the higher potential will be V1. So V1 minus V2 divided by the resistance, which is 2 ohms. So 3 branches, we have got 3 current equations in KCL, and that is going to be equal to 0. Now from here we have to reduce the equation, and for reducing the equation there are many different ways. But we will basically use a simple method, which is we will write the equation as, we will multiply with whatever is the denominator. Okay, so multiply with 2. So if I multiply with 2, this whole equation, okay, so if I multiply this whole equation with 2, what will happen? 2 into 1 will give me 2, 2 into this 2, both of them will cancel off. Okay, so that is what we are going to do. So let me write it. So if I multiply with 2, the first one, if I multiply with 2, I will get 2. The second one, when I multiply with 2, the denominator will get cancelled, so I will get minus of V1 minus 0. And the second equation, again when I multiply with 2, I will get the 2 in the denominator cancelled, so I will get V1 minus V2 is equal to 0 into 2, I will get 0 itself. So now I have done away with the numerator, as with the denominator. So as you can see, the equation has become very simple now. Now all I have to do is add up all the V1s, add up all the V2s, and write the equation properly. So here I am going to have minus V1, so I will write minus 2V1. V2 I am having here, that minus and minus will become minus of minus V2 will become plus V2, and then 0 is of no consequence. 2 I will take the other side, so this becomes minus 2. So this is my first equation for the first node. Similarly, KCL at node 2. KCL at node 2. Now KCL at node 2, again I will write the equations for second one. So as you can see here, the incoming current is already drawn here. We have already drawn this incoming current in this direction. Here it is going to go down, here it is incoming. So we will follow the same rule. So let us first write the incoming. It is incoming 2 amperes current, so plus 2. Then again the second one is incoming. Which branch? This branch, it is incoming, so this is positive, this is negative. So I will write that current as incoming, so it is positive. Higher potential, this is going to be plus. Why? Because the current direction is like this, so this is going to be plus, this is going to be negative. So higher potential is V1 minus V2 divided by 2 ohms. And similarly here it is 1 ohm, so again it is outgoing current, so minus of higher potential, this is going to be positive, this is going to be negative based on the direction of current. So I will write V2 minus 0 divided by 1 is going to be equal to 0. So again, just like we did previously, we have to multiply with the denominators, multiply with, so how many are there? 2 is there, 1 is there. So I can multiply it with both 2 and 1 together. Multiply it with 2 and 1. Now I already know that there is no point in multiplying with 1, it is going to be the same. So I will just multiply it with 2. So multiplying it with 2, I will get 2 into 2, 4. Plus the second equation, when I multiply with 2, the denominator will cancel, so it is V1 minus V2. The third one, again when I multiply with 2, the denominator is 1, so I will get minus of 2 times V2 minus 0 is equal to 0, which I can write it now as 4 plus V1 minus V2 minus 2V2, 0 into minus 2, it's all gone, it's also 0. So I can write very simply the second equation as V1 minus 2V2 is equal to, not minus 2, minus 3V2. Minus 3V2 is equal to minus 4. So this is going to be my second equation. Let me see if I have written it correctly. So we will get the answer as V1 is equal to 0.4 and V2 is equal to minus 1.2. So the two node voltages V1 and V2 we have found out. So this is the, remember, this is the simultaneous equation which we can solve using the calculator. So solving 1 and 2, we will get the answer as V1 is equal to point and V2 is equal to minus 1.2. Sorry, the answer would be different. I again did it because I was not getting the correct answers. Okay, when you use the calculator, we get the answer as 2 volt for V1 and 2 volt for V2. Sorry. Okay, so if you substitute that in equation 1 and 2, you will get the correct answer. So this is how we carry out the Kirchhoff's current law for nodal analysis. Thank you.